So then let's get a check on the two teams. The good news for Ghana is the fact that Asamoah Gyan is going to start here today up front, lone forward on his own with Suleiman Tari playing just behind him with Jordan Ayew. And let's see, we can get those teams confirmed for you. There we are. 6 of this starting lineup was present when they kicked off the World Cup quarter-final against Uruguay. Pencil Mensah, Anan Muntari, Asamoah Gyan, Inkum, and Anna Vosa is suspended today. But the big question is, how fit is Asamoah Gyan? His contribution over the last 2 tournaments has been key. He's been playing, of course, with Al Ain after departing Sunderland last summer. He has at least been scoring goals. Of course, it is a whole lot weaker the league than he was used to playing in. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in now in this top-level competition. Vosa suspended, as we said. Mensah will captain the team here today. Well, sadly for Botswana, they are without their most experienced player, Dipsy Selolwane, who is suspended for today's game. He will be available for the second game. The striker Ramatal Hakawana is fit and he does start. The referee today is from Senegal. Badari Diate and Jibril Kamara, his assistant. And everything is set then for one of the favourites. In fact, in many people's eyes, the favourites to kick off their quest to take this championship. Well, everything at the moment, Brian, is right for Ghana. They are missing one defender, but they are full strength apart from that. But I talked about the fitness of Asamoah Gyan. It is key.
Well, it's always important you get your goal scorers on the pitch, because we watched the Ivory Coast the other night, and they have a very, very strong squad, a very solid team, experienced players playing the football all over Europe, and they won the game 1-0. It wasn't convincing. So I always feel no matter who the team are, they want to get off to a good start. The Ivory Coast will take away from it. Their talisman Drogba scored the goal. They got 3 points and they're on their way. Ghana will want to start this game. They will want to get it on its way. They will want to win. They will want to play convincingly. And that's why they need strikers, and Gyan is important in that way.
Great atmosphere inside here. Botswana, their big day. And they couldn't have picked a bigger team to open their very first Cup of Nations against than Ghana. They've been getting good luck messages from all over the place, Botswana, including Miss World, who apparently is a bit of a fan. And they launched a couple of new kits that have been flying off the shelves in the build-up to this competition as well. As we said, this Ghanaian defence conceded just 1 goal. The Botswana defence only conceded 3. So if we get a tight game here, don't be surprised, because there are pretty much no changes from the squads. That's Mongal, who hits the deck for the first time. Played his football in South Africa, as quite a few of this Botswana team does. He's at Bloemfontein Celtic. He's a bit of a fan hero there as well. That's Shalathebe.
Interesting, one of the countries when I was travelling around looking at different things, I went to Botswana to see a football match. The Naughty Boys played Gaborone United. Great experience. Yeah, 20 odd years ago, more. 30 odd years ago. And the facilities were fairly primitive, but the players were so enthusiastic.
This is Badu. Whatever happens, his name will still be attached to Ghanaian folklore and football history. He was the one that scored the goal that won that 2009 Under-20 World Cup in the penalty shootout against the Brazilians. This is Ayu for Dede, as you may know him as Inkum.
But you can see from the early stages, Botswana well coached, well organised. They're going to concede the complete Ghana half and defend in their own half. So it's going to be a lot of bodies in that area. And the first goal is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, back four for Botswana with Nato sitting just in front in that holding role. One of the key players in their qualification campaign. There's Mensah, who's forever key for Ghana. 21 Buye. Mensah's ball finding Ayu. It's going to be a game where they're going to need a lot of patience here. Anan. Eleven is Sulimentari. Azerbaijan waiting in the penalty area for some service. Mungal is back to help defend. Paintsill finds Badu. Got a nice early rhythm to their game, Ghana. Here goes down, first free kick given. They've got to be very careful about giving free kicks away in positions as advanced as this.
Well, as you've said quite rightly, Ghana going to have to be patient. Here we see the incident. Definitely a free kick. Little nudge, brought him down. And this is an interesting distance because we've got players on the Ghana side who can really strike the ball. We've got movement and we've got big headers of the ball with John Mensah and John Pansal. Very, very impressive.
Gian's in there. Pansal is waiting in there. It's a good jump at the back post. Azerbaijan, as we said, caused the controversy at Sunderland last summer with the hankering for that move, which...
Good free kick, you know. Yeah, good free kick. I mean, they've obviously worked it. Two players peeling off, pulling far, but Botswana were waiting for everything that was going to take place. The ball was set in, and Juan, he did pull away. He did get above, but he couldn't direct his header in. So you can see the coaches have been busy.
And still under pressure from Mungal. It's recommended, wasn't he, Pansal, by Yossi Beniyunu, and with Alan Pardew in his time while he was at West Ham. And he is one of the side that were runners-up in the Under-20 World Cup back in 2001 against Argentina. Mensah was the other, Montari was there as well.
At the moment, Botswana looking very comfortable. They're allowing Ghana to play the ball across in front of them. Very patient. The back unit is moving so well, as you say. Neto just sitting in front of him and making and breaking things up. So at the moment they're looking comfortable, but got to be careful, got to concentrate.
Especially when making back passes like that. It was Mongal's back pass to Marumo. Ramatal Hakwani has been out of contracts of late. Ramatal Hakwani. Again, providing service like that, they're going to have to be more accurate, and that was disappointing, that in the end, because the shot from Motsepe should at least have been on target. He snatched at it.
Yeah, it's asking a lot often when it's put in there. All you can do is pick up the second ball. He sliced at it more than anything else, but that'll give them that little bit of encouragement. They're getting forward, they've got into the attacking half, and they can maybe build on that.
To get back, that was Jordan Ayu. You see those two, the Ayu brothers switching flanks.
Good play, you know. Lovely play, lovely pass, measured pass through, lovely weight on it. Went after it, great awareness, a little back heel. And you can see the balance, and yeah, a definite trip.
The brothers combining well. Jordan, the younger of the two, at 20 years of age. Badu standing over this. Sulimatari is in there as well. Good delivery to him. Got his head to it to get it clear. This is where they've got to try and be a little bit careful. Ramad Lakwani got into that first, but Bouye, tell you what, Azerbaijan was in a lot of space in between Tuma.
Well, what to do very well, Botswana, and you can see what the ploy is. They're obviously not going to give a lot of attacking opportunities and free play. As soon as they get a set piece against them, they defend very well and they come out very quickly. So Ghana are going to have to be careful that they get numbers back and don't leave themselves short.
This is Badu. Anan. Badu again. Lots of movement off the ball from Andre Ayew. There's Anan again. Jordan Ayew just moving into position. That was a late challenge, that.
One thing that I have noticed with the referees, they are trying their best to allow play to carry on and not blow up for everything.
Although that game we did the other night involving Burkina Faso and Angola, the referee did get a lot of criticism for that.
We're looking at that playback as well, and I think he's very fortunate not to get a yellow card. They're definitely late and definitely studs showing. Badu is an experienced player as well. That's the one thing that I think they have got on their side. A lot of players with vast experience who are prepared to talk and encourage, but at the same time demand of their teammates.
So Mongal, Kwarasi, this is Anan. Badu looking for Ayew. Inkuma's got up there in support. Good movement again, this from Ghana. Really testing moment, and well, that was Jordan Ayew. Got it all wrong. Nice play there from Marumo.
Yeah, there's great movement, I've got to say, from the Ghanaian players. They're very unselfish. They're running off the ball. There's a lot of 1-2 touch. But again, at the moment, you're looking at Botswana, and you've got to say, very disciplined, very organised. It's going to take something a bit special to break them down.
Well, one of the top scorers in qualifying Ghana.
I think going back, you spoke about the goalkeeper or the back pass, and there we saw the centre back. They've got to concentrate. They can't be sloppy, because the team they're playing against, the players in the side who can just pick up anything that happens, and Ghana is such a strong team, vastly experienced. They can score a goal. If they score one, they can score many.
Ayew and the Azerbaijan waiting in the penalty area. It's his flick on.
Yeah, it was a good try, wasn't it? And certainly, I don't think he went for goal. I think he certainly tried to put it in an area where another forward could come and join in.
3 goals in that World Cup a couple of years ago, but I wonder how many times he wakes up in the middle of the night thinking about that missed last-minute penalty against Uruguay. Tuma has got to stand his ground.
Yeah, Dave was right. I do think he was putting the cross in. The pleasing thing for Ghana coaches, they had 2 players in the box looking to feed off it. Here we see the ball played in. That's the header. He did try for goal. There wasn't real pace on the cross, so he had to do an awful lot of work. It was going to take something very special to beat the keeper from that position. But you can understand why the coach wants him on the side. He likes to see the ball go in the back of the net. He wants to score goals, and he's always playing inside the 18-yard box.
Yeah, he's averaged a goal every other game in his 55 internationals, or just under, with 28. He was the youngest ever player to score for Ghana. That record still stands as well. Is Bouye. And Annan. Inkum is just beginning to creep over that halfway line, get up in support of Ayu.
I do think this is where they're going to maybe get a bit of joy. He actually lost control of the ball, and a bit of a rugby challenge after that. But I do think this is where Ghana might get a little bit of joy. They can pass and play and encourage both full-backs to get forward. That might create the overlap, might create the extra man, and maybe give Botswana's defenders a problem.
11 there is Sulimentari. Talk about players who've had rich potential and promise and just about has everything going for them, but haven't quite produced what they expected. Sulimentari's right at the top of the list, isn't he? And another free kick given away with the challenge then.
Yeah, now this can...
Forward.
Yeah, to be honest with you, some of the challenges are poor. You don't want the referee to issue yellow cards from the early stages. It's a problem for defenders as soon as they get a yellow card. But if they do give away silly free kicks, and that's just clumsy, it's untidy. They're going to give themselves a problem with set pieces, but also they're maybe going to find themselves in that book, the referee's book.
Mensah forward for this, or is Badu going to have a go at goal himself here? He's teeing it up, and the strike pulled a couple of metres wide.
Didn't fancy it at all. You know, the run-up didn't convince me, and he really did pull it. It was a poor effort, wasn't it? And I think for them as well, that is poor because they have got so many big headers of the ball in the team who can be very powerful, very strong.
That was Stanley, Hunter, Tashane. And he rather unfairly said about him and his son when he was appointed a while back that the only reason he got the job was because they couldn't afford anyone better. But
I'm just looking at the faces and the body language of the Ghana players. They're getting frustrated with all these challenges. I mean, it's clumsy. There's no chance of getting the ball.
Not Banquet with the challenge there. And Boye. Mensah. They used to call Deschamps the Rock, didn't they, as a defender? He was nicknamed the Rock of Gibraltar, Mensah. Duma, and he's looked pretty impressive. Mongal. Motsepe. It's worth keeping an eye on, isn't he, the Botswana number 8, Mongal. He's very quick. He's got a decent left foot on him, that's for sure. Made a couple of headlines in the qualifying campaign with it. Under pressure there, Nato. Not Banquet.
Well, that was better from them. I would like to see them getting on the ball, the pass and play. You know, their movement and defending qualities and the shape of the side is very good. Now they've really got to get on the ball to make something happen.
Goran Stevanovic, the 45-year-old who was assistant in the past at Serbia Montenegro between 2003 and 2006. He's had a steady climb up the managerial ladder. A bit of time with Partizan Belgrade, which is where he came from to get here. That's Badu. Boye. He was getting an attempt to shoot on goal then, Sulimentari. And the challenge by Nato. Just punctured the ball. Sulimentari, he was just 16 years of age back in 2001, that under-20 World Cup final. And he lost against Argentina. Had a trial, didn't he, at Manchester United, but opted to go to Udinese. That'll be one of those decisions he probably looks back on and thinks, well, I might have made the wrong one.
Well, it's always tough, and when Man United come calling, not many players...
You go walking.
Yeah, I think so. And not many players would walk away from playing with arguably the biggest club in the world, or one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Modla Banquet, Motsepe in the middle of the field as well, but they're just a little too slow to bring it under control, do anything positive with it. Ramahobidu
Yeah, that's a problem at the moment. They're just not simply keeping the ball. They're working ever so hard to get it back, and actually they're unsettling the Ghanaian players because they are getting in and, you know, making many mistakes, pulling them down. It's breaking up the flow of the play. Ghana really just got to play at a little bit of a quicker pace, and certainly when they feed it into the front player, they've got to, you know, show support, get around it. This is all pleasing on the eye, but really without pulling the Botswana shape out of shape.
It's Brie. But it's a test as well, though, isn't it, for their concentration as they do this. As Annan again switches play over to the left-hand side. Inkum, you can see, just trying to sneak in there as well. Worth keeping an eye out on Inkum. He fell out big time with Juan de Ramos at Dnipro, which is where he is. After Ramos, we'll just see what happens here as Asamoah underneath it. And Mongal. Well, that's a mistake by Mongal that could prove to be costly. Ayew waiting in the penalty area. They need a quick delivery here. Asamoah and Ayew both in there. Flag up.
That's a little bit better passing. They've got the ball wide. They've got white shirts in the box. Just make sure you stay on side. Good decision by the official.
Yes, the saying about Juan de Ramos, he made a comment to Inkum, which was basically, if you decide to go with your national team, I'm going to buy another player to play in your position.
Well, it's becoming more and more complicated for players and managers and clubs as these tournaments take up such a long time, and of course the players have got a moral responsibility to their national side. But for the people who actually pay their wages on a regular basis, it seems a bit strange. But I think most managers now accept the fact that their players, if they're going to play in the African nations, then they will be missing for a period of time, especially the people playing with the big teams.
This is Boye.
I'm not saying you want them to not do well, but you like to get them home from these tournaments because it is quite demanding physically and I suppose every other way.
Yeah, looking to profit from the knockdown, but not on this occasion.
Keeper did well. The ball's bouncing about, he can see everything and just takes the pressure off his defender.
Again looking for Mungal. Pencil and his force Kwarase comes scurrying out. He had a pick and choose who he could play for as well. He's got 3 passports, the Ghanaian keeper. There's Ghana, Norway and Danish. Did actually play for the Norwegian under-21s a while back. There's Inkum. Anybody that's looking for a left-sided defender, he's for sale. But he doesn't come cheap. He costs 10 million from Basel. This is Annan.
Well, 20 minutes played, and really you've got to say Botswana have looked comfortable. Defensively very solid, good shape about them, no nonsense defending. Ghana have had a lot of possession, but all in this area, the middle third of the park, where they've been very comfortable and, as I say, pleasing on the eye, no problem at all. But in the final third, they haven't really been threatening at all.
And Asamoah has the ball, but he's been penalised in the process.
He's a lonely figure at the moment, and the ball's coming from back to front, you know, a long way, not really having the support. Suleiman Tari and the 2 young brothers, they've got to get closer. They've certainly got to pass the ball through and give him a better chance and better support.
No, he's on 9 goals with Ali. Didn't score for his first 2, but got 9 in the following 7, so he's finding life comfortable. But I said that Martin O'Neill was thinking about bringing him back, and certainly if you look at his record in the Premier League, it wasn't shabby at all.
Well, if anybody can talk him back and get him to pull on the red and white shirt, it'll be Martin O'Neill. And he shows great loyalty to his players. I'm sure if he can get back, he will.
There's Jordan Ayew. Ramo Obidu getting it clear. Andre Ayew moving in toward the near post. Asamoah there as well. Problem's been the quality of the ball so far from those wide positions, just as it was for Senegal the other day.
Well, there's 8 players in the box there for Botswana, so they're going to, you know, they're filling spaces, so it's going to be very hard to find that white shirt that's available in the box. You've got to really make it happen, get in front of defenders and better service in.
Badu Sulimentari for his pencil. Now, Inkum and Ayu in those two positions there have got plenty of talents, but winning balls in the air against defenders that tower over them isn't one of them. Better with the ball on the floor. That was Inkum.
Well, he was upset, Inkum. He thought there was a free kick and he was pushed. Wasn't the case.
Montari has made a late run into the penalty area, but again,
that's poor. That's poor. He was too casual, too relaxed. We're right behind him there, and you could see he didn't get his foot right around it. Only one white shirt in again. As I say, they're clever, you know. They have that little bit of invention, and Ian he's really such a good player, and he does hold the ball up and bring people into play.
The supporters enjoying their moment here. 22 minutes in. And they're holding one of the favourites for this event. This is Mongal.
Mongal seems to be one player for Botswana who, if he gets on it, has got a bit of drive in him, can run at defenders and maybe make them make a mistake. But at the moment, you're just looking to see how they can keep the ball. I think they need to pass about, give themselves that little bit of confidence. Almost a decent ball through.
Motlakina. And Badu. In comes Water, but he's just sitting behind. Good run from Badu.
Great run. Knocked off balance, very strong. I think they need to do more of that from different parts of the park, wide certainly, but through the middle, commit people, bring one on, maybe two on. Just might leave a space. Badu on that occasion tried to get the early cross in, decent defending, but that was better from Ghana.
So that's flat right, it's in, and it's Mensah who scored it. Poorly defended by Botswana, and it was a tap in for Mensah. If he could get his body in front of it, which he did, there was only one place that ball was going. Well,
I just feel it was a great set piece. Botswana really had a problem dealing with it, but it's a fast service in, there's good movement, there's the deflection. Mensah's coming in at pace. As you say, he's a big man, big unit. He's going to be hard to stop. Doesn't matter which part of the body it hits, as long as it's not the arms. And that's the case. To put someone out to stop that service, the high service, yeah, it's a terrific flick. I've got to say, the flick at the near post was magnificent. Mensah, not picked up, but a simple job and a good goal for them.
So the Rock of Gibraltar, the man who made himself famous in his very early days as an international when he got a golden goal, knocked Brazil out of the World Cup, the World Youth Cup in 2001. That was a team that included Kaká, believe it or not. That was when his name was first seen. And he's got his country's campaign off and running here after 25 minutes. Yeah, really over-physical that from Ramata-Lakwani.
Strong run, wasn't going to get it. You know why? Make it easy for the defender.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this changes the game now, because Ghana can sit and play that game on the halfway line for the rest of the 90 minutes now. It's up to Botswana to a degree to come out and try and force the issue. And forcing the issue there and very nearly scoring. Badu and Annan.
Yeah, they have. No, that goal was important to them. I don't think they can play like that. I don't think they can sit back. I think they've got too many Fleur players. They can be disciplined at the back, but I think the Fleur players will want to get forward. Certainly, Gian will want to score goals. There's no doubt about that. And you feel Botswana now have got a problem. They're the team that have to come out and change their game plan. They need a goal now. They'll not want to be humiliated for sure in the first game. They'll want to keep it a little bit tight, but they've now got to take a little bit of responsibility of getting forward.
Mensah. And then Mensah Finding Inkum. It was a strong challenge then from Gibonamon. Boye into Anand.
I think that's maybe not exactly what should happen, but certainly they've got to try and twist and turn this back four. At the moment they're playing in front of them. As you say, they've got that goal, so they're not under the same pressure. But I would like to see the runs coming from the middle of the park from wide in behind the back four to maybe give them a bigger problem. But one of the players are sitting very comfortable.
Good play, Ayu. Oh, he's given away a free kick. That seemed to be slightly generous then from the referee. They're up in the ante in some of their challenges as well. Andre Ayu.
Yeah, but
Sulimantari's layoff.
Yeah, but there's an urgency about the play now, which was a little bit missing.
This is Inkum. Badu. Lovely little touch. Nice ball. Sulimantari with the layoff to Azerbaijan. Back to Pencil. That's a good interception that by Gibonamon. He hasn't got an awful lot of places to go. Mongal was getting up in support. Very strong run coming up here from Motlapina. And disappointing conclusion.
Yeah, poor finish. Motlapina there, he made a long run to get support. And this is it's a great flick on at the near post. That's the movement across. It is the main man, the striker. Yeah, and he just gets in front of the defender, just deflects it, that's all it's needed. And the rest of the players can respond around it. And you just feel in the early part of the game when they had set pieces, they didn't take full advantage of their immense power in the air.
Well, there's no doubt that they do miss here. Dipsy Selolwane, the 33-year-old, perhaps the most experienced of all of the Botswanan players, who's played a bit in the MLS. The likes of Real Salt Lake. Suspended for this game.
I don't think it's such a bad start from Ghana. They're playing well as a team, playing well as a unit. Defensively, they look solid. They haven't really been tested. I can't remember the goalkeeper even having to pick the ball up. But this will give them confidence with the free play and getting people forward and supporting front players. And you would think, give them more goal-scoring opportunities.
Motlapin. Closed down by Inkum. It's Ghana that have the free kick, which Mensah will take.
Yeah, just a little push. Inkum does quite well, doesn't he? You're right. Defensively, seems reasonably solid and likes to join in down that left-hand side with Ayu.
Good run this from Ayu, looking for the outlet. Jordan Ayu's in a lot of space just down below us on the left-hand side. Jamari layoff. Sulimantari's waiting in the penalty area, and his outstretched arms. You can see how disappointed he was with the quality of that cross.
Well, it was good play, and they got into a good position, and it was John Pansel really in a good position. He just loose ankle, and it was a poor cross. Needs to get his foot around it, because to have that power in the air, the great movement, and it really would question the defenders of Botswana.
Quarter of an hour to go to the interval here in the first of our live fixtures of the day. Mali against Guinea is upcoming a little bit later on. There's Inkum. He's so graceful when he takes to the air, Mensah, doesn't he? He looks in complete control.
Well, he's a huge unit of a man, and he believes in his head, and I think he likes heading the ball, and he likes defending. And you've got to give him great credit for that. He must not be easy to play against, for sure.
This is Pencil. Badu on to Anand.
I think Anand gives a nice balance to the team. Badu wants to get on the ball on a regular basis. They just feed it through to Sulimantari, and they share the possession about.
Sulimantari's got it now. That's a great block, that is. Lesholatebe is the one that just flung himself in the flight path of the ball then.
I think that's the nice thing about the Ghana side. They've got quite a few leaders in the team. You know, Mansa, Kansal, Muntari, they can all pull on the armband and play without the armband and still captain the side.
So that was from Badu again. Badu looking for the return there. Jordan Ayew was coming in on it as well. And away come Botswana.
Solid, isn't he, centre back? Really solid. Reads the play so well and uses his great power just to brush off the forward player and keep control of the ball. Plays it nice and simple when he gets it.
Sulimentari. Jordan Ayew, very nearly.
Clever. Muntari, nice pass, nicely weighted pass. This is the run through. This is where he just tries to strike, but again, good defending. Just can't get the rebound, and that's where the white shirts need to press up and just try and pick up the nice ball, the next ball.
Matsebe, see that Mongal is coming short for that before drifting back over to the left-hand side. Get the feeling they need to try and get him involved in the game somehow. His pace and ability. This is Andre.
Well, he's got the confidence to try and put his foot in the ball and go past people. Nicely balanced player, and you're not going to stop him trying that. It's just going to, can he see the pass when the opening comes along?
Giamwari in there once more. So too is Jordan Ayew. Duma getting it clear. Mongal getting onto the end of it as well, but they still can't win possession and keep it. Painesville. That was Gabonamon. Not lapping, and just runs straight into the shoulder of Inkum and bounces off onto the floor.
Yeah, good defending. Nothing he could do, he just stood his ground. Good decision from the referee. A lot of them would be bought into the free kick scenario, but he didn't.
Well, if they could get themselves advanced enough to win a couple of corners, maybe.
Yeah, I think the centre forward Jerome, he just seems to be up on his own, and really it's very difficult for him if he doesn't get the service that he can bring the ball down and give his midfield players time to support. They're not going to have too many attacking options at all.
Menza. Boye. 10 minutes to go then to half-time.
1-0's always a threatening scoreline, you know, and you want that second goal, but at the moment you just feel Ghana are looking so comfortable. From Botswana's part, they've really got to try and keep this tight, and you just feel in the last 10 minutes that they can retain this situation with a 1-0 deficit. They can maybe commit more people forward.
It's Shepo. Good interception now. Muntari looking to try and thread it through then for Jean, just not quite quick enough off the mark.
Idea is absolutely right. Ayew and Jean's pace trying to get in behind, and that's where Botswana need to be careful. You know, defensively they've been very good, got numbers back, but when it breaks down, when they have the ball, Ghana are so quick getting forward when with the players are too wide. Ayew and Jean up front.
Naito, and again continuing really as they have been all game, unable to keep possession. Painshill. Annan profited from one of Essien's many injuries when he got his first call-up and made his debut against Brazil. It's not a bad attempt, that, from Jordan Ayew. He's only 20 years of age, Jordan Ayew. He's had a relatively prominent season with Marseille so far. He appeared with Andre Ayew, first time the two brothers had appeared in a Champions League game, you might remember, against Arsenal, just back a little before Christmas. Yet to score an international goal, but he's been on the score sheet for Marseille this season 5 times already. Jerome Ramatakwani has given chase to everything that's come his way, but everything has had more than an hint of lost cause about it. It was Motsepe. This is the longest passage of possession I think they've enjoyed. And Diapo's ball. And Mongal easily hustled out of it by Incoum. Annan, Ayew, Menzo leaving it, Boye. Is Muntari. He's tried that every time he's picked the ball up, that little stab pass to try and split the two defenders at the back for Botswana and get Asamoah in.
Well, John's trying to get in behind him now. You know, he is trying to twist, he's showing and then he's spinning. And there's just so many numbers back. The space is so narrow. The fullbacks are coming in. They're making defending very narrow. It's very hard for Ghana to get a space to get the centre forward in.
Shibo.
So that means the run might have to come from the middle of the park. You know, the centre back.
Like we've seen Badu.
Yeah, I think so. Montari has tried to get in there as well.
This is Mongal. Jerome back to Mongal. The ball was just behind him as he tried to control it on his chest, and Painshill trots away with it. But
you've got to say, in the last 5 minutes, Botswana have tried to get the ball down. They've had more possession. That might give them that little bit of confidence, and you know, they come out the second half and take the game by the scruff of the neck, try and get on the ball. They realise they're against arguably one of the best teams in the competition, so they've got to keep it tight at the back.
Jan drifted wide. Now he's in. Jan. Oh, he didn't have packed some power in that. He was nowhere near the goal.
But you could see the determination. He squared him up, just knocked it past him. A little bit of obstruction, but the referee allowed play to carry on. But I think if he's left one-on-one, he certainly is a major threat.
Zuma. Now Motsepe. Well, made his ball.
It's going to be very hard for Botswana to just play the ball up to the big centre backs going to Boye and John Mensa. They're so powerful, so strong in the air. It's going to make it very hard for Jerome up front on his own.
No, they're going to need to get their two wide players involved more in this game, Munga and Mohamedi. There's Inkum into Anand.
Well, I think with 2 or 3 minutes left of official time, I'm sure there'll be a minute of added-on time. I think Ghana will be pleased with the first half. Very controlled football. Maybe play a little bit quicker when they get in the attacking third. But they've got that 1 goal advantage, and that's important. Botswana, they just got to believe a little bit more. They're defending well, but when they get on the ball, they just give the ball away too cheaply. Don't give any service to the front player.
3 waiting in the penalty area then as well for Ghana. He's on the near post. And Tari's sitting just behind him. Exil's throw. There's Badu. Exil again. Mungal tried to close him down, wasn't quite quick enough. Sulimentari wins it up in the air and the flag up again.
Yeah, coach will be disappointed with that. There was plenty of time to pass the ball about. There's plenty of time to stay on side. But they all work hard. Montari, their prime example, really gets about the ground, closes down, wants to get on the ball, take responsibility.
There's Anand. Montari, Anand, Badu alongside him. He's available as well as they just wend their way from left to right. And this quick surge of pace just trying to open them up. Sorry, Montari waiting in toward the near post. Badu is there as well. Badu might pick it up. Montari has stayed right on the edge of the 6-yard area. And they've got a corner kick literally to end this first half with, and more pressure because the last corner kick delivered the goal. They're going to need to tighten up here, Brian.
Yeah, I think so, but you can see the change of pace and the belief in what he can do. Good challenge, I've got to say. But I feel that to help Ghana get second goal, they've got to work across the first defender. The big first defender is just standing in line with the post. Anything comes in short, he's just knocking it away on both sides. So they've got to get someone across. They've got to put in better service.
Well, they're a bit slow to deal with this in the end until Ndiapo just launched himself again at the ball. It's really last dish stuff. And Montari again looking at the referee, claims there was a late challenge on him.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that. They know there's a minute to go. They have a good idea where the clock is. They scored a goal from the last set piece. Corner kick, put it in, good movement, flick on, goal. And you'd think Botswana will be a little bit nervous in a situation like that. So why let them out by taking that short one? And nothing against a little bit of imagination, but just on that moment in time, it might have been better just to play the ball in and try to repeat what they did 2 or 3 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago.
And come to Anand, looking to try and get him through again. He's runs from deep, we've seen on a couple of occasions from Badu. There's the coach, Stanley Toshanek. He was the assistant previously they had an English coach, a guy called Colin Rowe. Ending this first half as they started it in total control and domination of the ball. They've enjoyed the majority of everything inside this first half. They've given Botswana a bit of a chasing, but still just 1 goal separates these two at half-time. It came courtesy of that set play, which Mensah bundled over the line, just about deserving of their half-time lead. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look ahead to what's coming up tonight, and we will look back over this first 45 minutes here. Ghana players in conference before they leave the field. Botswana troop off. They trail by 1-0. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time.
Every night on Eurosport, the world's top players are in Melbourne, putting their names in the frame in Grand Slam #1. It means red-hot tennis is guaranteed. Every night at 1, the Australian Open, live on Eurosport.
Inspired by what you